sugar, David? No, what?
Boxing inspires passion, and no fans are more passionate than those in Corpus Christi, Texas. Their love of the sport is rooted deep in the community. And the boxers of Corpus Christi have given their fans plenty to cheer about. A number of national and world champions have emerged from South Texas. Training for boxing starts at an early age. Jesse Benavides was just 11 years old when he first went to the gym.
So I asked Bobby Garza if I could go fight, and he says, "You're crazy, you just started." That happened for 3 straight days, 4 days, and then finally he relented.
I didn't know. So when they said, "Hey, Emilio, you want to box?" I said, "Yeah, man, why not?" So they put the gloves on me, and that's the first time I ever had a pair of gloves. And they put me against this little short, dark complected kid. Nati Perez, what's his name? Once you know he, man, that guy stumped the living heck out of me. That I still remember now, feel like he's still hitting me nowadays.
I was always getting fights, and I was kind of small, and they make fun of my color and all that stuff, so we bang, real quick. And he said, "Look," he says, "why don't you go to a gym somewhere and learn to fight? And that way, you get this thing out of your system, this fighting thing you have."
Then, why did you look fussy? Oh, I did that.
One of the first fighters to rise to prominence here was Lefty Barrera. He won the National Golden Gloves and found himself at the Olympic trials in San Francisco, California.
I was an underdog in the Olympic trial, in the final Olympic trials. Nobody expected me to win. I didn't expect to win either. But I said, whoever beats me is going to have to work at it. He's going to have to work his butt off to beat me, because I'm going to give it all I've got. And anyway, to make a long story short, I fought 3 fights there, and I won them all.
Blackie Zamora excelled at the same time. As a professional, he held the state championship for 4 years and enjoyed a long career.
I remember back then, in the lower weights, like say a middleweight or a welterweight, a championship fight, the champion would get $35,000, and the challenger $15,000. But back then, it was a lot of money, because I guess the minimum wage was $1.30, I guess, something like that,
Zamora was followed by boxers whose names are legendary in the boxing world. Robert Elizondo, Frankie Warren, Lupe Suarez, and Jesse Benavides achieved celebrity by winning the National Golden Gloves as a teenager. Benavides eventually won a world title before a home crowd in an internationally televised fight.
Fought here at the Coliseum. I fought Orlando Fernandez for Puerto Rico, who was the world champion at the time. And it was a tough fight. Didn't come easy. It took 12 rounds, and I ended up winning a unanimous 12-round decision to finally win the world championship.
During the heyday of boxing in South Texas, there have been many truly great fights at Memorial Coliseum.
Boxing was the main sport that the city was always looking forward to. If it was the amateurs, it was the Golden Gloves. The Coliseum back then was packed.
It gives you a lot of energy, like pep, and all these people are yelling, and And I mean, people here, you are a good fighter. You start banging with two guys, they love it and they show it and they let you know and they start yelling, making a lot of noise, and it's beautiful. I mean,
sure, it was exciting to see it. You look up at the people sitting up in the upper angles, upper stairs, and it's very exciting.
By the 1960s, a sophisticated, highly competitive system of boxing clubs had developed.
The competition was very intense, and we had a trainer here in Corpus by the name of Whitey Moore. He was very good. Now, he was very good. He had produced very good boxers, but we had this trainer from Robstown that was very good. This is why I was able to make the Olympic team, because of the competition here.
Corpus Christi became a boxing center to a great extent because of dedicated, talented coaches and trainers.
You're more than a coach when you're in the gym. You become a second parent to some of these kids.
Boxing can often be a father-son affair. David Baltazar's father was a trainer.
He just told me if I really wanted to continue this, sure, why not? So, it's all right. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Well, here's the keys, huh? Have at it. He turned around and told me, oh, yeah, I forgot a few things. A few things? Yeah, I forgot to give you the rent bill, the light bill, and the water bill.
Blackie Zamora's son was born after his father's career had ended.
It was always this thing, it was growing up, you were Blackie's son, that's Blackie the boxer. Everybody, you weren't even, a lot of the older people, you wouldn't be Porfirio Jr., that's Blackie's son.
It's hard. When you're married to a boxer, a professional, it's hard. It's hard because he gets up in the morning, he runs, he comes home, he goes to work, he comes home, he rests, he goes training, he comes home, he eats, he goes to bed, he gets up 7 days a week. 7 days a week, 30 days a month.
And I think boxing shows a lot of direction, discipline, respect, morals, and values and families.
Boxing is like life in general. If you put a lot into it, it'll give you something back.
It's not really that boxing, the sport, keeps them off the streets, because as soon as they leave the gym, they're going to go right back out. They're going to go back out. What the sport really does, in my point of view, they go into the gym and they learn to build, it builds character. It builds their confidence, gives them self-esteem.
You don't see these gyms popping up on the south side or in King's Cross, those areas. You see the gyms popping up on the west side in places like Park Street and stuff. And this is where it pulls its contestants from.
Boxing in South Texas creates a story about passion, dedication, tradition, and community. It's a story that needs to be told. It's a story that will appeal to anyone who strives to achieve greatness.
Hey! How do you turn it off? How you turn it off?